keep forgetting to do that. Hopefully that'll help. So the skeletal system: bones, cartilage, joints, ligaments, other connective tissue. What's the function of the skeletal system? Support against gravity. Uh, Store calcium and fat, make blood cells, protect soft internal organs, leverage for muscle action. Okay, do we have people coming in? Yes, we do. Hello, Jennifer. Okay, so we're still recording. So again, what's the skeletal system do? Supports, stores calcium and fat, makes blood cells, protects organs like the lungs and the heart and the bladder. Okay, and muscles allow us to move. And if you don't have skeletons like boneless chickens, right? I wonder where boneless chickens come from. Do they have to be uh, pushed around by workers with brooms? Because you can buy boneless chicken at HEB. That's a joke. Okay, osseous tissues. 2% of the specialized cells is bone weight. Calcium phosphate makes up 2/3 of the bone weight and collagen fibers. Okay, so bones have different shapes. So long bones like the humerus, short bones like the carpal bones, flat bones like the parietal bone. The vertebrae are irregular bones. Long bones are like the radius, ulna, humerus, femur, tibia, fibula. Short bones like the carpals in your hand, in your wrist, and in your feet, the tarsal bones. So the humerus, so make sure you know uh, various shapes of bones. Okay, so what are the parts of a long bone? The diaphysis is the shaft. The compact bone surrounds the marrow cavity. The ends of the bone are called epiphyses. Uh, Spongy bone makes up the structure of the epiphysis at the distal and proximal portions of the bone. There's articular cartilage on the ends of the bones. There's a periosteum, a covering, and there's an endosteum. It lines the marrow cavity. So if we look at a picture of a bone, there'll be questions on WebAssign. Proximal epiphysis, distal epiphysis. The long shaft is called the diaphysis. The surrounding membrane around the bone is the periosteum. The wall of the marrow cavity is made of compact bone lined by the endosteum. The marrow cavity is where fat is stored and blood vessels are made. Okay, blood vessels penetrate all levels of the bone. Bone is a very active tissue. It's growing, it's adjusted as you change weight or go through puberty. Male bones are greatly, usually bigger and have different markings for attachment for larger muscles. The articular cartilage is at either end of a long bone. So make sure you know these terms. The epiphyseal line is the growth plate. That's how the bone grows, increasing its length. We said what the periosteum was. Osteocytes are the cells that make bone. They live in little holes called lacunae. Okay, so Let's look at a picture of a bone. So compact bone is made up of columns called osteons. They are,
Professor,
yes.
there's someone trying to come in.
Okay. Okay, thanks. Please tell me anytime. Okay, so we're back to the PowerPoint. So compact bone is made up of columns. Each column is called an osteon. The spongy bone is found lining the uh, marrow cavity. There are blood vessels and nerves flow down the middle of the osteons. The osteon is this little central cavity. Uh, there are veins, there are capillaries in there. Lamella, lamellae plural, lamella singular, are these layers of concentric circles. The trabeculae plural, that means little beams. Each one is called a beam, B-E-A-M. Blood vessels uh, send blood and return blood to the heart through the veins. Food and oxygen is given to the bone tissue. It's very much alive. If you've broken a bone, you know it really, really, really hurts. If you break a bone, it's living tissue. So each of these little columns is called an osteon with a central canal. The central canal has nerves, veins, capillaries. Each of these layers is called lamella. Lamellae is plural. Spongy bone is made out of little beams. Okay, so make sure you know this fine structure of bone. And back here, you know the parts of a long bone. Okay, so if we look again at a microscopic section on a real microscope slide, each osteocyte lives in a lacunae. Lacuna is a little opening in the lamellae. So this is the central canal. These are the lamellae plural. The osteocytes, along with the osteoblast, make up these concentric circle. Each one is called a concentric lamellae. So know the structure of compact bone. Know that spongy bone has trabeculae, little beams, okay, connecting a network of bone. There's no osteons in spongy bone. So, as I said, no osteons in spongy bone. The layers of bone are called trabeculae. They form rods, plates, and so on, a branching network. Uh, Often spongy bone is where the marrow is red, where blood forming occurs. Osteocytes are the mature cells that live in the lacuna. Osteoclasts break down bone. Osteoblasts start the process of generating new bone. They make collagen and calcium salts. Okay, so notice three types of bone cells and the functions of each of these three. Okay, let's stop there. Go back to, let's stop recording and we'll have one video.